if it's his wishes and everything, yes, do not. I'd probably try to do I would do my best to save his life if he's still alive, because at that point, you're not really resuscitating him. You're just trying to keep him alive.
Okay.
If he happens to pass away after that, then I already did my part and trying to get him, and then I might,
All right. So I like how you're dodging the question a little bit.
Yeah.
But if you had to resuscitate him, would you resuscitate him or not? Weekend, I was reading an article about an end-of-life scenario involving a hospital and a doctor, and kind of interesting parameters of making a decision for your treatment in a hospital. A person of 70 years of age got brought to a hospital in Florida, and they had no family with them, no next of kin, and they decided they needed to do some life-saving treatment to him, to resuscitate him, to bring him back to life. When they opened up his shirt, they saw a tattoo that read, "Do not resuscitate," and of course they had this ethical dilemma. It's my understanding that the doctor then called an ethical hotline to get some information about whether or not he should resuscitate the person in light of the tattoo on their chest. So when the doctor ripped open the shirt and saw it, he didn't feel comfortable giving him any kind of resuscitation type treatment, and so went to this ethical hotline. The ethical hotline told him if he didn't feel comfortable with it, that he didn't necessarily need to do the treatment, and so they basically did some treatments to keep him alive without resuscitating him, so they could look at his paper documentation about what instructions he wanted for his end of life. This kind of brings up an interesting question. Is a tattoo a good way to give end of life instructions? From a legal standpoint, the answer is really no. You should have a living will or a trust that gives some instructions on how you would like your medical treatment to be done, or instructions to your next of kin. But in this scenario, of course, there was no next of kin there. A tattoo, though, that's not legally binding. And although it's not a horrible idea if you have some really strong conviction about how you want your end of life treatment to be, or whether you want blood transfusions or things like that, there's better legal parameters and mechanisms that you can use to impose and set your own treatment and your own values, so that should you not be able to answer questions for yourself, the doctors will know what steps to take. So maybe we can get back to the office and ask a couple people, a couple regular people, some non-lawyers, what they think about this scenario and whether they would resuscitate the person with a "do not resuscitate" tattoo across their chest. Let's check it out. Since she's my actual receptionist, we'll give her a little introduction. This is Sierra, the receptionist at Alpstar Law Group. We're going to ask you the question that we're going to ask a couple people today, which is the following. It's a real life situation. Imagine yourself as a doctor.
Okay.
A man comes in, he's unconscious, right? You have to do some chest compressions to get him breathing again. You open up his shirt, and tattooed across his chest it says "Do not resuscitate." Would you resuscitate him? Would you give him CPR or not?
Legally, you can't. As a doctor.
I just want to know your opinion. Let's leave the legally to someone else. What do you think? Would you do it if you were the doctor? Would that be enough for you?
Yeah.
It'd be enough for you to not do anything?
Mm-hmm.
And so if he dies, you're okay with that?
I mean, I'm not okay with him dying, but if it says "do not resuscitate," I watched enough Grey's Anatomy.
Our next victim is a gentleman, a good friend of mine, Steve Enlow. He is a real estate broker in the same building as my law practice, and we're going to ask him our question of the day today. Steve, are you ready?
I'm ready.
And you've agreed to let me use your likeness and appearance and your extreme good looks on my episode of Unbillable?
I've signed off on it completely.
This is going to send the views through the roof, correct?
Absolutely.
All right, here's our question. No, you don't get to see anything. Our question goes something like this. Imagine yourself as a doctor, Steve, all right?
I am.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. And so a unconscious man comes into the hospital, and he's going to need some form of CPR or something to bring him back to life, to resuscitate him. You open his shirt, and tattooed across his chest are the words, "Do not resuscitate." Do you resuscitate him or not?
I do not.
You do not. Why not?
Because it says "do not resuscitate."
It's just a tattoo, though. That's enough for you?
No.
No, it's not enough, or no, you wouldn't do it?
I think backspacing is saving the man's life at this point.
So yeah, it's saving the man's life. So are we going to follow that tattoo instructions?
No, I think I'm going to follow something that was written, a written document.
Ah, looks like he knows he's talking to a lawyer, doesn't it? All right, my man, we are here with Jonathan Russin, third generation insurance, another guy in my building, and I want to put him on the spot with the question of the day. You think we should do that, Bubba?
Yeah!
All right, Jonathan, are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
And you've agreed you're okay with me using your likeness?
That's fine.
Just like Steve earlier, I'm sure your good looks are going to help the views go through the roof, so I appreciate you participating. Imagine yourself, if you will, as a doctor.
Okay.
And a man comes in, no family, no friends, unconscious. He needs some kind of CPR, some kind of, reopening of his airways.
Okay.
You open his chest to perform CPR, and tattooed across his chest says, "Do not resuscitate."
Okay.
Do you go forward with the CPR or not?
I'm not too familiar with the laws and ethics of doctors and everything, but
That's why I'm asking.
yeah. If it's his wishes and everything, yes, do not. I'd probably try to do some. I would do my best to save his life if he's still alive, because at that point, you're not really resuscitating him. You're just trying to keep him alive.
Okay.
If he happens to pass away after that, then I already did my part and trying to get him, and then I might,
All right. So I like how you're dodging the question a little bit.
Yeah.
But if you had to resuscitate him, would you resuscitate him or not?
As a doctor, I probably would, because I don't know if I would take a tattoo, because I don't know if he got it when he was 15 and stupid, or 18 and drunk, or whatever it may be. I might actually go with it, because I don't know. I also don't know the laws. Like, is that a legal binding thing? Whatever you tattoo on.
You know what? I like your answer, and I'd love to share with you what the real answer is, but you'll have to watch the episode of Unbillable to find out.